today to get into it. It's like fitness day, as you mentioned. So we're gonna be doing a couple different places, a couple different things, right? We're gonna be downstairs at the gym, right? And doing 4 corners, doing circuits, rotating, right? First half, we're also gonna be.
It's important for young men to express their emotions and talk about their struggles, because if they don't, we see what happens in our community, in our society. Young men go to jail, young men get locked up, crimes happen. So we teach our young men through our social emotional learning curriculum how to express themselves and their emotions in a healthy manner. My name is Vondell Singleton, and I'm the founder and CEO of Champsmell Mentoring Program. My childhood, I came up on the south side of Chicago in the Bronzeville community, Ida B. Wells housing projects. My mother was addicted to drugs. My father was incarcerated. And so, yes, I came through very similar circumstances as the young men that we're working with. And my advice is that they can overcome with the help of mentorship. They can beat the odds, and they can go on to fulfill whatever dreams and goals they have for their lives. I never felt unmotivated in school because school was a refuge for me. It was a safe space for me. It was a place where I learned to become who I am today. My mentor helped me go to college. And once I got there and I graduated, I was the first one out of my family to ever graduate from college. And what that meant to me was I had to ask him, what did I need to do to pay you back for what you've done for me? And he said, the same thing I did for you, do for somebody else. That's how you pay me back. And so I felt it was my duty to create a mentoring program where I gave others from similar situations, boys and young men of color, an opportunity to discover who they are. And I'll tell them the same advice my mentor told me. When you make it, pay it forward. Give it to somebody else. And that's how we keep this thing going. So Champ started about 10 years ago at Gary Comer College Prep. We started with 8 young men. And our 8 young men, had some needs in school where they were not being attentive with the academic setting. And I would talk to them, and I wanted to know what their father's stories were. And their father's stories, I don't know my father's locked up, he's dead, or he don't want to have anything to do with me. So it was a commonality that made me want to start Champ's mentoring program to be positive men in these young men's lives so they can have someone that was rooting for them, that wanted to support them and help them fulfill their dreams and goals. So initially, 10 years ago, that's how Champ started. Christian Terry, who's now our program director, he was part of that original 10 years ago. We also had another young man, Robert Jones. Robert Jones was the biggest kid in 9th grade at the time, but he was also a kid who needed some extra direction and mentorship. And 10 years later now, Robert Jones is playing for the Miami Dolphins in the NFL. He started with that original 8. And so, yeah, I remember them very well. I remember our first trip to the skate rink at the MLK, Martin Luther King skate rink on 76 and Racine, and taking these young men out on a Saturday, and they 14, 15. Now today, 25 years old. So yeah, that's a special time when we first started in those young men. And we knew that we wanted to provide safe spaces for boys and young men of color. We knew that we wanted to be consistent. So the struggles was, we knew that, but no one else knew it. So outside of the school, outside of what we were doing, no one knew what Champs was. No one was supporting us. We wasn't a nonprofit at the time. We wasn't getting grants, but we were feeding the young men out of our own pockets. We were taking them on the trips. We were taking them to go get shoes and clothes, and no one was providing donations at the time. We were trying to figure out how we presented ourselves to society and how folks who were not a part of Champs saw us. And I think the first year we ended up winning the White House Student Film Festival and going to the White House with President Obama. And that's what got us on the map. After all the years, what motivates me to want to put on my Champs gear, my Champs cap, my jacket, or my hat, my shirt, is there are kids who don't have a mentor. there are kids that are dying every day in our communities that need to know that Champs exists for them, that need to know that not only are we existing for them, we're advocating and fighting that their kids and their children's children will have success. So we focus on 3 E's: education, empowerment, and exposure. And we believe that every young person is born to win in every situation in life. That's our philosophy. And so every day I get up and I get the opportunity to do what I'm passionate about and love to do, I know I'm making a difference.